Anjali ma'am, I think the speaker has joined.
Dr. Akshri on the platform. Gayatri ma'am, the speaker ma'am, Dr. Rama is there. Dr. Rama, are you there? Dr. Rama, we are not able to hear you, Dr. Rama. Yes, Vidya ma'am, Dr. Rama has joined. She's there.
Okay. Yes, ma'am, we are live also. We can start the session.
Okay. May I invite our Vice Principal to commence the webinar? Over to Raj ma'am.
Thank you, Anjali. Good afternoon, one and all. Welcome to the national webinar on articulatory phonetics and speech mechanism. I congratulate the PG Department of English to have organized this webinar, a very useful one indeed. On behalf of the management, principal, staff, and students of Kasturba Gandhi Degree and PG College for Women, I welcome the speaker of today's session, Dr. T. Rama, who's going to give valuable inputs on this very important and useful topic. So I also welcome all the participants and hope you all have a great session. And I also thank the ICT team for facilitating this webinar. And thank you very much. Over to Dr. Anjali to introduce the speaker of the day to the audience. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ashri, for your valuable words and words of encouragement, of course, and giving us this opportunity to host this webinar. Articulatory phonetics and speech mechanism is a topic much sought after, and the need to understand it with clarity and precision and accuracy of classification of sounds, word stress, and syllables which fall in order of correct pronunciation is a great art to impart. We have with us Dr. T. Rama, who shares with us the knowledge on the given topic. I hand over the platform to our colleague and faculty member, Ms. Gayatri, to introduce the resource person of today. Over to Ms. Gayatri. Over to Ms. Gayatri. Gayatri ma'am, you have to unmute yourself.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Rashri ma'am and Anjali ma'am. A very good morning and a warm welcome to all the participants and the staff members to the national webinar, which is to be hosted today. I would like to introduce our resource person, Dr. Rama, Vice Principal and Assistant Professor, Department of English, Vijnana Jyoti Institute of Arts and Sciences, Secunderabad. Dr. Rama is an MA, BEd, MBA, PGCTE, PGDTE, and acquired doctorate from JNTU, Hyderabad. She has also acquired international certification of TESOL, teaching English to speakers of other language. She is a professional English faculty with 27 years of teaching experience, handling classes for junior, degree, BTech, PG, and professional candidates. She has taught the executive MBA students of Sikkim Manipal University. And she served as a faculty and a content developer for Time Institute and taught CAT and GMAT aspirants. She has presented and published 7 papers in the various national and international journals and successfully conducted workshops. She has also taught diploma course conducted by Osmania University for the foreign students. Above all, ma'am has a creative talent in writing poetry and she is a good poet. Thank you, ma'am. Now I welcome Dr. Rama to start the session.
Am I audible? Hello. Good
Yes.
afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, ma'am. You are audible. You're very much audible, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am. We welcome you to the webinar.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity also. Well, the students, I can't see the students. Will they show themselves? Will they show themselves, the students?
Actually, no, ma'am.
Okay.
They have already joined and waiting.
Okay, fine. How do I share my screen?
Ma'am, you have given the permission to share your screen, ma'am. You can start with that. You can click on your PPT.
Fine. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it visible? Is my PPT visible?
No, ma'am, not it.
Share the screen logo, ma'am. We just click on that. It is coming on my screen.
Share screen.
Yes, ma'am. I think you're sharing the screen now.
So how do I make it full screen?
Ma'am, it is full screen, I think. It is.
Ma'am,
Fine.
you have a option at the bottom. On the right side of your screen at the bottom. Yeah, the
Yeah.
next one, madam. Please bring your mouse point. Next one, next one, next one. Next to the right side, right side.
Right.
This one?
No,
Not
no,
that, madam. Not that.
ma'am. After the
Now
bar.
you have to.
After the bar, immediate right.
Okay, okay. The
Immediate
bar
left.
has to be. Okay. Now I can't see it.
No, ma'am. Bar, don't increase the bar. The icon next to the bar on the left.
Ma'am, it's like a goblin shape. If you can see that.
Ma'am, immediate. Yes, ma'am.
Right, sure. Is it okay now?
Really okay, ma'am.
Start.
You can increase the size of your slide now by increasing the bar very lightly. Yes, ma'am. You've got it.
Thanks. Because we are used to Google Meet. We don't use Zoom for our classes. So that is why I'm finding it a little difficult with this now. Anyways, I hope all the students are there. Good afternoon, students, and I hope you've all had lunch. If you're hungry, you won't be able to listen and participate. That's the reason why I'm asking you. Eat something and then sit. Now, all of you know that English is a global language. It is a universal language. And you know how it has got that name also. Because it is the language of science and technology. It is the language of the library language. And most commonly used language for official purposes also. It's an international language as you all know. So it is important that we learn the language. And when I say we learn the language, it is not just learning the grammar and structure of the language. We need to learn the right pronunciation also of the language. Because there is no one English in the world. There are many Englishes. So Indian English is also a recognized variety. But originally, it came from England, and pronunciation, phonetics, the symbols were all given by the English people according to the sounds pronounced by them. So that is the reason why we learn RP or received pronunciation right now, right? There's a saying by Mr. Brown, Professor Brown, who says, we have probably all met foreign speakers of English who sounded very fluent and may have been perfectly grammatical with appropriate vocabulary, but they were unintelligible owing to poor pronunciation. So this statement sums up the importance of pronunciation. But unfortunately, pronunciation teaching is neglected in schools and colleges. So it is the onus is on us, the English teachers, to see that pronunciation is taught properly. So the general idea is that pronunciation will anyway be learned by students. But what happens in reality is that students tend to imitate their teachers, and if the teachers don't use the right pronunciation, they are teaching them the wrong pronunciation unconsciously, right? So first, teachers need to be trained in the right pronunciation of English sounds, right? Then pronunciation is the production of sounds in meaningful ways. So it includes the knowledge of the sounds of English, that is the segments, and the aspects of speech, accent, rhythm, intonation, phrasing, timing, voice quality or tone, and also gestures and facial expressions. And teaching pronunciation is of great importance today. So, and one more thing, very important thing that we need to know is that the goal of pronunciation teaching is not to make our students speak in a particular accent, right? The goal is to make them intelligible. That is the key word in pronunciation, intelligible. So what is intelligible? The way you speak or pronounce words, the others should be able to, the native speakers should be able to understand. That is what it is. Then, so pronunciation, I'll start with pronunciation basics. Students, do you know anything about phonetics? What have you learned about phonetics till now? Can someone answer me? What do you know about phonetics? What is phonetics? Yeah? Anybody?
Ma'am, it involves sounds.
Yeah?
So that's what I know about phonetics. Each letter has a different sounds. Each letter in alphabet.
Each letter has?
Different sounds.
How? Okay. Anything else?
Sorry, ma'am.
Anything else?
For example, I would say we generally say A, but when it purely has to be in sounds, then that would be a different sound. Like in an apple, we sounded different. Schwa sound. It's like a schwa sound.
Yeah, one letter can be pronounced in different ways.
Yes, ma'am.
The letter is one, but there are different sounds in
Yes.
which we pronounce that one letter. So that is where there's a lot of confusion in English pronunciation. Which way do we pronounce that particular word or the letter, right? Okay. Now phonetics teaches you about sounds. It's actually a science. It's a science because it's a scientific study of how we produce the sounds and how we produce the different sounds, and then how speech sounds are classified, how to transcribe these sounds. Okay, so these are all the things that you're going to learn in phonetics, and it is a science. You need to know a little about the organs of speech also to understand how different sounds are produced. It's very interesting. It's actually fascinating. I have found this topic, this subject very fascinating during my MA days also. And I decided even then that if I do PhD, I'll do PhD in this area. So first, let's see how we produce sounds, in fact, any sound for that matter. It is the air that we exhale that is used to produce different sounds. Okay, there's a special mechanism in us. See, we are the only ones who can speak, right? Animals cannot speak. Of course, there are certain birds that can be trained to speak, like parrots can be trained to speak. But mostly, they can produce certain sounds, but they cannot speak. We are the only ones who have a special mechanism in us that helps us to produce these speech sounds, okay? So what is this mechanism? What does this mechanism consist of? It is first the energizer. Energizer is the air that is exhaled. Without the air, we cannot speak. We need that air. that is exhale to produce the sounds. And then vibrators and resonators. Vibrators are the vocal cords. Now in your larynx, which is called the voice box, you have vocal cords. And these vocal cords are two thin strips of flesh put together like this. And they vibrate when air passes through them. Okay, the air from the lungs through the windpipe passes through the throat and it is released through the mouth or through the nose. When we breathe through the nose. When we speak, generally we release the air through the mouth. Okay, so most of the sounds are oral sounds. Oral sounds are produced when we release the air through the mouth. So nasal is related to the nose. Generally, we use the nose to breathe in and breathe out. But when we speak, the air is released through the mouth. So from the air from the lungs passes through the throat, and in your throat, you have the vibrators. The vibrators, they're called vibrators because they vibrate. They vibrate, vocal cords. And then resonators. Resonate. What is the meaning of resonate? Have you come across this word resonate? It's a common word. What is to resonate? Anybody? Can anybody tell me? What is to resonate? Now, for example, you go inside a cave, and you speak there, make sound there. What happens? What happens there?
Is it like echo or
It reverberates.
Yes, there is an echo. There is an echo, right? Because what happens is, what we speak is also sound waves. We are releasing sound in the form of waves. So these waves go out into the atmosphere. Now, when you're inside a cave, it is closed from one side, right? When you go to the mountains also, and all around there are mountains, and you're in the middle somewhere and you speak, there is an echo. Because what happens there is, these sound waves go hit the walls of the cave or the mountains, and they come back. That is resonate. That is a kind of echo that is produced. So air, when it passes through your throat, mouth or nose, it's a closed thing, right? It's a closed thing. So what happens there? It resonates. Now, even with your mouth closed, you can make a few sounds, can't you? What happens there? The air is trapped inside and it resonates. When you make the sound, it resonates. Do you understand now? So resonators are the passages of the throat, mouth, and nose. Okay. Then I already told you about the vibrators. They are the vocal cords. They're found in the larynx, and larynx is called the voice box. Voice box. And these vocal cords have a gap in them, in between them, through which the air passes. So that gap is called the glottis. And in the diagram of organs of speech, it is very difficult to show this gap, okay? But it is there. It is the glottis. That is called the glottis. Then let's come to the sounds. Now in English, how many letters are there of the English alphabet? How many letters are there in the English alphabet?
26.
26. Yeah, how many of you speak Telugu or Hindi? Have you learned Telugu or Hindi, the language? How many letters are there in Hindi? How many letters are there in Telugu?
56.
56 and 52. Why are there so many letters in our languages, but there are only 26 letters in English? See, our people are very clever, you know. Indians are very clever, whether you know it or not. So what they have done, they have represented each sound in a letter. That is why there is no confusion when we write. Because for each sound, there is a letter. If you take Tamil, for example, in Tamil also there's a confusion because there are certain letters that are used for two sounds. Only one letter, but for two sounds. How many of you, is there anybody who speaks Tamil or who has learned Tamil? If you have not learned, you won't know. But what I want to convey to you is that all the sounds in our language, either Hindi or Telugu, they've all been represented in a letter. But in English, If you see in English, not all sounds have been represented in letters. That is why we have only 26 letters of the alphabet. Now, please don't say alphabets, okay? Alphabets in the plural is wrong. Letters of the alphabet, that is what you should say, not alphabets. Letters of the alphabet, that is correct, alphabet, that's it. The English alphabet, not bets. So, there are 26 letters, but if you go by the sounds, in English, there are 44 sounds. How many sounds? How many sounds are there in English?
44.
44 sounds are there in English. But the letters only 26. What's the difference? 44 and 26, what is the difference? That is why there's a lot of confusion. There is no one-to-one correspondence between spelling and pronunciation also. Letters are something else, pronunciation is something else. Right? There is no correspondence, matching. Correspondence means matching between spelling and pronunciation. So, I already told you oral sounds. What are oral sounds? The basic classification of sounds I'm going to talk about now. Oral sounds. What are oral sounds? Sounds that are produced when air is released through the mouth. Okay? Sounds that are produced when air is released through the mouth. And most of the sounds are oral sounds, actually. And then you have nasal sounds. Nasal means related to the nose. Oral means related to the mouth. Okay? The nasal sounds are produced when air is released through the mouth. Sorry, nose. Released through the nose. There are certain sounds for which we use the nose. That's why when we have a cold, we cannot produce those sounds at all because our nose is blocked. Have you experienced this? When you say the sound ma, ma sound is there. And when you have a cold, you cannot say amma, it becomes amba. Because the nose is blocked, you cannot release the air through the nose, so that sound cannot be produced. So nasal sounds, oral sounds, nasal sounds. So nasal is referring to the related to the nose, and when air is released through the nose, these sounds are produced. And another category, voiced sounds. This is very important in phonetics. You need to know the difference between voiced and unvoiced sounds because it's related to stress also. Now, voiced sounds. Now, I told you vibrators. What are the vibrators? What are referred to as the vibrators? Sorry? I want you to participate in this. That's how you learn. What is referred to? Sorry?
Larynx?
No, vibrators. I told you first, the special mechanism that we have in us which helps us to produce speech sounds. That consists of three: energizer, vibrators, resonators. What are the vibrators? The vocal cords.
Vocal cords.
Yes, the vocal cords are called the vibrators. So, when we produce certain sounds, the vocal cords vibrate, I told you, remember? And for most of the sounds, they vibrate. There are some sounds for which they do not vibrate. So, when they vibrate, the sounds that are produced are called voiced sounds. Now, when you put your finger on your throat like this and speak, when you produce a sound like say that, you can feel the vibration of the vocal cords there. All of you try that. You try that to yourselves. Put your finger on your throat. Can you see me? Am I visible clearly?
Yes, ma'am.
So put your finger, 1 or 2 fingers on your throat like this and say ah. You can feel the vibration of the vocal cords there. So these sounds are voiced sounds. And there are some sounds for which the vocal cords do not vibrate. So they are called voiceless or unvoiced sounds. Clear now? What are oral sounds, nasal sounds, voiced sounds, unvoiced sounds, or voiceless, unvoiced or voiceless? Is it clear? Still have any questions here? I'll move on. Now, before we get into the classification of sounds, you need to know about the organs of speech. What are these organs of speech that we use to produce different sounds? Okay? So like I already told you, air passes through from the lungs through the throat, the vocal cords, and is released through the mouth or the nose. And inside the mouth also, we have the tongue, the teeth, the roof of the mouth, lips, all these things that are used in various positions to produce different sounds. Okay. First thing you need to know is the tongue is divided into 4 parts for the purpose of pronunciation. Okay. The tongue is divided into 4 parts. The tip of the tongue. This is the tip of the tongue, and then the blade of the tongue. Just after the tip, that part is called the blade of the tongue. Okay. So the tip of the tongue, then the blade of the tongue, then front of the tongue, then back of the tongue. The front of the tongue is opposite the hard palate in the roof, and the back of the tongue is opposite the soft palate, the roof of the tongue. Okay, so the tongue is very flexible. You know that we can send it to any part of the mouth. So we use it to produce different sounds. And then the roof of the mouth is the upper part of the mouth here inside. That is the roof of the mouth. Okay, and the roof of the mouth is divided into 3 parts. Okay. Teeth ridge. Now teeth ridge is where your teeth end and your gums start. Can you feel it with the tip of your tongue? Can you feel it? At the back, put your tongue up and touch it. You'll touch the teeth ridge. That is after the teeth, where the gums are. That is the teeth ridge. And the center of the roof of the mouth, you touch it with your tongue. It is hard. That is why it's called hard palate. In the center of the roof of the mouth, you have to feel it. You have to touch it with your tongue and feel it. And you tell me whether it is so or not. Okay. You have to respond. Hard palate. Could you feel the hard palate? Yes, no? I want some kind of response. Tell me. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and then when you curl your tongue to the back of the roof of the mouth, it is soft. It's a little soft. So that is called soft palate. Touch it and see. In the center, it is hard, and beyond the center of the roof of the mouth, it is soft. That's why it's called a soft palate. Yeah? Can you feel it? You have to understand these things. It's not enough if you just listen. You have to experience it also. That is when you produce sounds, you will understand better what happens there. Okay. And then you have when you open your mouth wide and look in the mirror, you can see 2 pieces of flesh hanging at the back, right? Can you see? So the lip-like flesh hanging downwards beyond the soft palate is called the uvula. That's called the uvula. And at the back of behind the tongue also there is that is called in Telugu, I think it is called kondanalika. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
That is called the epiglottis. That is called the epiglottis. Okay. So beyond the soft palate, you have a small piece of flesh hanging that is called the uvula. And after the back, at the back of the tongue, you have another piece, lip-like flesh hanging that is called the epiglottis. Okay. And then you have the vocal cords, and you have the teeth, and you have the lips. These are all the organs of speech. Now look at this diagram. Sorry. Look at this diagram. This is inside your mouth. Okay. The uvula, and the gap between the uvula and the epiglottis is called the pharynx. This part. This part. The space between the uvula and this is the epiglottis. This is called the pharynx. Now these are the vocal cords. Behind your Adam's apple, you have the larynx, and the larynx contains the vocal cords. Okay. And this is the trachea or the windpipe, and this is the foot pipe. Now, this is the tongue. This is the tongue. This is the tip of the tongue, and the body is divided into like body blade, back, front, back, and this is the root. Blade of the tongue, then front of the tongue or body of the tongue, and back. And this is the nasal cavity. Okay, the wind passes through here like this, and we release it through the nose when we breathe. Okay, now look at this uvula. This uvula, it keeps moving up and down like this. So when it moves up, it closes this passage to the nose. So air is released through the mouth. Okay, this uvula keeps moving up and down. When it moves up, it closes the nasal passage. So air escapes only through the mouth. When we speak, that's what happens. This is the nasal cavity. Then this is the roof of the mouth. Okay, the roof of the mouth, I told you, alveolar ridge, hard palate, soft palate, and the velum or the uvula. The soft palate is also called velum. Another name for it is velum. And then the uvula. And then teeth or dentals, they are called. And the teeth ridge is also called alveolar ridge. Alveolar, it's also called alveolar. When you come across alveolar anywhere, it means that the teeth ridge is involved in the pronunciation. Okay, so this is the diagram of organs of speech. We will be using all these things in the production of certain sounds. You will learn how. Okay, now this is where I broke for the other class when I did the same thing. Now, classification of sounds. Now, how many sounds are there in English again? Tell me. How many sounds are there?
44.
44 English sounds. Yes, there are only 26 letters. So out of the 44 sounds, we have vowels and consonants, right? There are 20 vowel sounds, and these 20 vowel sounds are further divided into 12 pure vowels and 8 diphthongs. Okay, there are 20 vowel sounds, 24 consonant sounds, and these 20 vowel sounds are further divided into pure vowels and diphthongs. Now, pure vowels are single sounds, vowel sounds. Diphthongs are two sounds put together. They are also called vowel glides. Okay, they are also called vowel glides. The glide is actually a smooth movement. So here what happens, we start with one vowel sound and move smoothly to another vowel sound. That's why they're called glides. Diphthongs. There are 8 diphthongs, 12 pure vowels. Now, Daniel Jones, father of English phonetics, a great English phonetician. You will learn about Daniel Jones. His dictionary is there, pronunciation. The author of the pronouncing dictionary. How does he define a vowel? It is a sound in forming which the air issues in a continuous stream through the pharynx and mouth, there being no obstruction or narrowing, such as would cause audible friction. So, the gist of it is that in the production of vowel sounds, air escapes freely from the mouth in a continuous stream. There is no obstruction in the production of these vowel sounds. For example, air is released in a continuous stream. There is no blocking of the air passage. There is no obstruction, so there is no audible friction. Now, pure vowels are also called monophthongs. Mono means one, you know that, right? So monophthongs, pure vowels. There are 12 pure vowels, and diphthongs, I told you, are also called glides. Now look at this pure vowel diagram. This is inside the mouth where you produce each sound. So these vowels are also classified based on where inside the mouth they are produced. Okay, so how are they classified? Inside where they are produced and based on the shape of the mouth also. So front vowels, central vowels, back vowels. In the front of the mouth, these sounds are produced. Some in the center of the mouth, they are produced. Some are produced at the back of the mouth. So accordingly, they are classified as front vowels, central vowels, and back vowels. And this is the position of the lips. Okay, so for some, the lips are closed. For some, they are half closed. For some, they are half open. For some, they are open. Now look at these sounds. We start with front. We start with front vowels first. So first is E. Now, just like in our language, we have a, e, u. So what is a? What is a? A is a short vowel. A is a long vowel. Same way in English also we have short vowels and long vowels. Only thing is when we write, we don't show them. But in the sounds, we can show them. So this is a long vowel. To show it is a long vowel, you put these two dots after the sound. These are sounds. These are not letters. Okay, these are sounds. So after this sound, when you find these two dots, it means that this is a long vowel, not a short one. Okay, E. Now you should pronounce it and tell me whether you are pronouncing it in the front of the mouth or not. You should pronounce it and say E. This is E. Right? This is the diagram. Can you see this is inside the mouth? E. You say E. Your lips are not completely closed but closed. Okay? And do you pronounce it in the front of the mouth? Do it and tell me. You have to respond now.
Yes, front of the mouth.
Yes. E. E. When you say E, again, half closed. Lips are half closed. That is also almost in the front. And this sound is A. Okay. When you say A, you are opening your mouth a little. Right? When you say A. When you say E, E half closed. When you say A, you are opening your mouth a little. Aren't you? Say it. You have to pronounce it. If this had been in a class, I would have made everybody pronounce A. Okay, this is A. This is A. This sound is A. A. This sound is not there in any of our Indian languages actually. So that is why it's difficult to produce this sound for many people. When you say A, again you're opening your mouth. It's not completely open, but it's between open and half open. That's why it is put here. And say A. Right? Then this is ah. When you say ah, you're opening your mouth, aren't you? This is a long vowel ah. Right? This is a long vowel ah. This is mouth is open. Then again, I'm coming back to closed position. Back vowel. Ooh. When you say ooh, the lips are not completely but closed, and this is produced at the back of the mouth. Ooh, this is a short vowel. This is a long vowel. This is a short vowel. Ooh. And this is oh. There is no O in English. Okay, the sound O we have in our languages O, but in English it is O. It is not O. Okay, it is O. O. It's not O. See the difference in pronunciation? In our languages we have O, but in English it is O. But O. This is open position. Okay. And this is this inverted V is When you say it is in the center of the mouth that you produce it. Now, unless you do it yourselves, you will not understand the meaning of front, central, and back. So I hope you're all, following my advice and pronouncing the sounds. Then this is this is a central sound. This is a long vowel. You can see the dots here. This is a long vowel. This is This is a very short sound, vowel sound. This is also called Schwa in phonetics. This sound is also called Schwa. Schwa. But the sound is very short. This is This is This is central vowel. This is Okay. Now, already told you this. Front vowels articulated in the front, back vowels articulated in the back, central vowels articulated in the center, and then the position of the lips, open, half closed, closed. Now, examples. Now, I don't know why I can't see these here. The system. These are the sounds. Now, E, the sound E. These are the examples for the sound E, as in sheep, sleep, heat, meat. Now I go back. You give me more examples for this sound. E. I gave you some examples. You give me more examples for the sound E.
Feet.
Sorry?
Feet.
Can you spell that?
Feet.
Feet. Feet. Then. Give me more. All of you.
Eat.
Eat. Okay. Try with different spellings for the sound E.
Clean.
Keen.
Clean. Clean. Yeah. Clean.
Keen. Keen.
Yeah. Clean. Clean.
Steel. Steel.
Steam.
SWN. Seen.
Seen. Okay. Seen. Sweep.
Yeah.
Clean.
Yeah. Steel. Both the steels. Metal as
Yes.
well as rod.
Sorry.
I mean, steel.
Steam. Yeah.
Both the steels. EL and EL.
Steel. Okay. Steel. Fine. Then.
Elephant.
Sorry.
Ma'am, Wheel. B.
Spell it. Spell it. Can you spell it?
BEEP. Beep, ma'am.
Okay. Fine. Then.
Mean.
Yeah. Mean. Correct. And
Ma'am, neat.
yeah. Neat.
Neat. Meat.
Try different
Sweet.
combinations. I want you to try different combinations of consonants.
Sweet, ma'am.
Sweet.
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 Yeah, sweet. Okay, fine.
Well, sweet. Sweet in a hotel.
Sweet. Yeah. Yeah, sweet. Same. Yeah. Spelling is different, but it's sweet.
Teen.
Team. TEAM. Did you mean TEAM?
No, teen. Teen.
TEEM.
Team.
What is that? What is that?
TEAM. Team.
TEAM team. That's what I asked. Okay, fine. Now this is the short vowel E. Can you give me some for this? Hit, pit, knit, lit, chit,
Kick.
pick. Yeah. Give me more words for E.
Kit.
And the sound is the same. Try to put it, with different consonant sounds. What else? Thick, kin, chin, pick, click. Come on, girls. I want you to give me more examples.
Thick.
I don't know if there are boys also around.
Get.
So don't. Sorry? Sorry?
Sick. SICK.
Yeah, sick.
Dig.
Come on. Huh?
Dig. DIG.
Yeah, dig. Then
Nip.
E. The sound is E.
And chip.
Chip. Yes, chip. Chick. Click. Slick. Flick. These are, of course, rhyming words. Any other? Okay, fine. Let's move on. This is A. As in bed, met, check, deck. Now you give me more words for this sound.
Bet.
Huh?
Bet.
Bet, yeah, bet. Head, HEAD, head. And
Step.
Dead.
dead, wed, step, fled, flex, net, next. Any more?
Ma'am,
Check.
never.
Sorry?
Check.
Never.
Never. No, only with this sound you should give, ma'am. Don't add other sounds. I mean, other vowel sounds.
Check,
Right?
ma'am.
Check, yes. Check. Peck. Lest, L-A-S-T. Lest. Okay. Okay, then let's move on to this sound. This is, what sound is this? This is a. The sound is a, as in man, fan, bank, rank, 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 sang. These are of course rhyme. Now you give me more words. I want at least 10 words.
Apple.
Apple. Yeah, okay.
Rank.
I gave you rank.
Sand, ma'am.
Stand. Yeah.
Tank.
Tank. Yes, good.
Tank.
Frank. Yeah. Yeah.
That.
No, this is a. Sound is a.
Tank.
Tank. Yeah. Correct.
Bank, ma'am.
Yeah, bank I already gave you.
Slang.
Flank. Yeah.
Antique.
Only with this a sound I want. In antique, you have e sound also. Only with the sound. Ant. Ant you can say.
Drank. Drank, ma'am. Drank. Drank.
Yes,
Prank.
Frank.
Prank.
Ma'am.
Brand.
Family.
No.
No.
No, family a sound is there, but there are other two sounds, vowel sounds also. When you practice one sound, you give words only with that sound.
Okay,
Vowel
okay,
sound.
ma'am.
So that
Thank,
you
ma'am.
don't get
Thank.
confused. Yeah, that is all done. Tank, brand, plank, P-L-A-N-K. Flank. Fine. Let's move to this. Heart. H-E-A-R-T is pronounced heart. Park. Park. P-A-R-K. Park.
Hard.
Huh?
Hard.
H-A-R-D. Yes,
Yes.
hard. Yes, correct. And I want
Hard.
more. Hard. Yeah.
Prank.
Hard. Sorry. What was that?
Park.
Prank. Sad.
Park. I already told you. Park. Huh?
Sad.
Where is A in that? The sound is A. Art. A-R-T. Art. A-R-C. Arc.
Articulate.
No. I will not accept that. Only with this sound.
Start.
Start. Yes. Start. Yeah. More.
Smart.
March. Yes. M-A-R-C-H. Sorry?
Smart. S-M-A-R-T.
Yeah, smart. Correct. Smart. March.
What? Cart.
Cart.
March.
I gave you March. What else?
Dart. D-A-R-T. Dart.
Dart. Yes. Dart. Dark. D-A-R-K also. Dark.
Calm.
Calm. Yes. Very good. Calm. Palm. Psalm. P-S-A-L-M. Pronounce Psalm.
Mask.
Mask. M-A-S-K. Yes. M-A-S-T also. Mask. Mask. Oh yeah, that also yes. Mask, mask, masked, etc. Okay. This is O, as in hot. Short vowel O. Hot, hot, dot, spot. You give me more.
Fog.
Fog. Fog.
Log.
Log.
Dog. Dog.
Yes, dog. God also. God.
Hog, ma'am.
Hog. H-O-G. Did you mean H-O-G?
Yes,
Pot.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am,
Hog.
pot. P-O-T.
I gave you that word already.
Ma'am, hop.
Top.
Yes.
T-O-P.
Yes. Yes.
Top.
Yes. Yes.
Hop.
Hop. Yes.
Top.
T-O-P. Top.
Yes.
Mop.
Yes. Mop. Blog. Yes. Blog. B-L-O-G. Blog. P-L-O-T. Plot. S-L-O-T. Slot. Bot. B-O-U-G-H-T. Bot. Right? Bot. Any other?
Dot.
Yeah. Dot.
Cot. C-O-T.
Dot. Cot. Lot. All rhyming. Let's move on to all. This sound is all, as in all. A-L-L. All. That's pronounced all. Call.
Mall.
Call.
One second, one second. When I told you the sound is all, try to pronounce that sound. Mall. Fall. Fall.
Small.
Fall. Small. Yeah. Any other?
Doll, ma'am. Doll.
Yes, dog.
Wall.
Correct.
Call. C-A-L-L.
Yeah.
Fall. F-A-L-L.
Yeah, those are all rhyming words.
Tall. T-A-L-L.
All rhyming words. Give me some other combination of consonants.
Capable.
No. Where is awe in that? When you say capable cannot be put anywhere here. There are 2-3 sounds in that. Vowel sounds.
Flawless, ma'am. Flawless.
Only flaw. But that flaw, is it flaw or flaw? Is that a long vowel? Flaw. You say flaw or all. I think of more words for this. Let's move on. This is oo. Short vowel oo, as in pull, push. Yeah. Come up with more words.
Hush. H-U-S-H.
No, the sound is oo. Is it push or
Bull,
hush?
ma'am. Bull.
Yeah, that's what. I said pull, push. The sound is oo. When you say hush, the sound is not oo in that, right? It is ha, hush. This is oo. Pull, push. More. Pull,
Unanimous.
Pull. No. Just this sound. Only with this sound a word. Pull, push, bush, bull.
Pull.
Give me more.
Put.
Stood, yes. You can use stood.
Jute, ma'am. Jute.
But the sound is oo. Short vowel oo. When you say jute, is a jute or jude? See the difference? Pronounce it and tell me properly. So this is a short vowel. So when you say jute, is it a long vowel or a short vowel there? Yeah, put, pull, push. Stood. Good, wood.
Juice, cute.
Oh, no. No, when you say juice, is it juice? Sound is O. When I say juice, are you pronouncing it juice or juice? When you say juice, is that a short vowel? See, the reason why I'm asking you to give me the examples is for you to understand the difference among the sounds, especially these pairs, oo and oo, e and e. on, or. That's how you learn. Now, most of you gave me words for the long vowel oo, but the vowel sound here is oo, right? Now, this is the long vowel oo. Now, whoever said juice, you can write there. You should write these examples down. Actually, juice, and then some other people also gave some examples for oo sound. Food, F-O-O-D is pronounced food, but it's a long vowel. It's not food. Foot, F-O-O-T, foot you can write for this oo. Foot, F-O-O-T. Here, food, F-O-O-D is pronounced food. It's a long vowel. Yeah. Now, what else can you write here? Moon, pool, soon, spoon, stool. Now you give me more words. I've given you enough.
Look, L-O-O-K.
Look, you will write here. Because it's not Luke, it is look. That is short form. Here it is pool, soon, moon, tool, pool. Here you will write foot. Here you will write foot. Here you will write food.
Cool.
Yeah, I already gave you that. Cool, cool.
Goggles. Aspects. Goggles.
Where is woo sound in that?
Google.
Mood.
Yeah, Google who is there? Yes.
Mood.
What is that? M-O-D, mood. Yeah, mood. Yes, mood point.
And lukewarm.
Mood. M-O-O-D. Mood.
Yeah, mood you can write, correct? Yeah.
Scoop. Mood.
Yeah, yeah. Scoop, yes, scoop. What more?
Pour.
Tool. Stool.
Yeah, stool
Tool,
I already
T.
gave you.
Tool.
Stool.
Tool. T-O-O-L.
Yes.
Proof.
What is that? Can you spell that?
P-R-O-O-F.
Proof. Yeah, very good. Proof.
Bloom.
Bloom. Yes, good.
Groom. G-R-O-O-M.
Yes, yes.
Spoon.
Groom.
Spoon.
Spoon. Yeah, school. School also, you can write. Okay, let's move on. This sound central vowel as in hut, shut, hush. Somebody gave hush for this sound. Hush you can write here. For this sound you can write hush.
Okay, ma'am.
Hush. Mush. Must. M-U-S-T.
Cut.
Must. Huh?
Cut. C-U-T.
Yeah.
Cut.
Yes, when I said hat, you can all the rhyming words you can write. Nut, cut. Full. See, you can write full here, fool here. Full, fool. And here, fun. F-U-N. Fun, sun, stun, scum. S-C-U-M. Scum.
Mud.
Mud, yeah, mud. Spud, S-P-U-D, spud.
Gum. Rub.
Gum, correct, gum.
Yum. Yum. Y-U-M.
Yeah, yum. Any other?
Nut. Some. Rub.
Yeah, nut, some you can write some, yes. Must you can write. Must I already gave. Nut. Any more? Okay, let's move on. This is sound is as in girl. G-I-R-L. How do you pronounce that? Girl. Twirl. T-W-I-R-L. Twirl. Skirt. S-K-I-R-T. Skirt.
Pearl.
S-H. Curl. Huh?
Pearl. P-E-A-R-L.
Yes, pearl. Curl, curl, C-U-R-L, curl, curd, C-U-R-D, curd. Just give me a second, just a second. Sorry about that, I had to take that call. Then earth, E-A-R-T-H, earth, world, W-R-L-D, world. Now you give me some more for the sound. Sound. The central sound,
Bird.
Where?
Word. W-O-R-D.
Correct.
Word.
Word. Word. What do you eat with rice? Curd. And your hair, if you have like this.
Curl.
Curl. Curl. And
Turn.
sorry?
T-U-R-N.
T-U-R-N. T-U-R-N. Turn. Spurn. S-P-U-R-N. Spurn. Any other?
Mark. M-A-R-K.
Where is in that? When you say mark, that will come here. That will come here. Mark. Bark. Mark. Shark. That is R sound, open vowel sound. This is a central sound. As in girl. Twirl. Whirl. As in whirlpool. Whirl.
Germs.
Germ. Yeah, germ.
Earl, ma'am.
Whirl.
Earl, E-A-R-L.
Earl. Yeah, Earl. Earn also. E-A-R-N. Earn also.
Pearl. P-A-R-L. P-E-A-R-L.
Yeah, that somebody gave, no, initially. Correct, pearl. You can write all this. Now, let's move on to the last sound here of the pure vowels. This is generally used in compound words or in words that end in ER, where the ER is not pronounced. Now, one more rule in English is that, in pronunciation, is that the letter R is not pronounced unless it is followed by a vowel sound. Okay? The letter R. Now, we have a tendency, Telugu speaking people especially have the tendency to stress the R wherever they find it. For example, E-A-R-T-H is pronounced earth, world. Right? Have you heard people pronouncing those? Earth, world,
Yes, ma'am.
Aaron, Aaron. Generally, R is not pronounced unless it is followed by a vowel sound. And even then, the R is a rolled sound. Okay, it's not R sound. Rolled. R becomes R. Earth. Iron. I-R-O-N. Iron. How do you pronounce this word? E-N-V-I-R-O-N-M-E-N-T. Somebody pronounce that? E-N-V-I-R-O-N-M-E-N-T.
Environment.
Sorry?
Environment.
Environment. It's not environment. I hear most of them pronouncing it environment. No, it is environment. Iron. Okay, R is followed by awesome. But even then we say environment. We don't say environment. Ra is not pronounced. And apart. When you say apart, this is a word. A is separate, part is separate. It's one word, apart. It's a compound word, right? So the first there is not stressed. So generally in unstressed parts of the words, it becomes this schwa. So apart. The stress is on part. The first A is not stressed. So when it is not stressed, it becomes this sound. Apart. Same way in father. When you say father, mother, sister, T-E-R is not stressed. Sister, we stress sis, sister. So the last ER becomes this sound schwa. This sound schwa. Okay. Brother. R is stressed. The is not stressed. The last sound is this sound. This sound. Okay. So generally in unstressed parts of the words, we find this Schwa sound. Yeah. Now, I'll show you the examples. Why is it not moving? Going to the next slide. See, there are many more examples that I've given here for each sound. Okay. So, is it clear now? The 12 pure vowels, are they clear?
Yes,
Do you have any
ma'am.
questions? You have any questions to ask me related to the pure vowels, monophthongs? Yes, no? Any more questions? Require clarity somewhere with monophthongs? If not, we'll move on to diphthongs or glides. What do you say? Yes? Please respond.
It's
Shall
clear,
we
ma'am.
move on? Yeah.
Clear,
So shall we
ma'am.
move
No.
on to diphthongs? Now, diphthongs I told you are called glides. Now, these arrow marks show how they glide from one position to another position. Okay? Ear. This is E and this is A. Now, E is in this position. A is somewhere here. So it is moving from here to here. Ear. This is A and E. A. The sound is A. This is A and A. Air. This is R and E. I. I. From R, it is moving to E. Then R is moving to U. Out. Then O is moving to E. This is Oi. This is Ow. This is Oi. This is U. U and U. This is L. A and U is moving here. L. Let's look at some examples. Ear. When you take ear, what examples can you give for me? Here, H-E-R-E. H-E-A-R. Here. Cheer. Mere.
Tear.
Tear. Huh?
Fear.
Fear. Don't pronounce the R. Just say fear. R is not pronounced. Fear.
Clear.
Clear. Then
Ma'am, near.
near. Yeah, near. Spear.
Fear.
Fear. And some more. Any more? That's it.
Listener. Learner.
No. Where is ear in that?
Dear.
Yeah, ear.
Appear.
No, don't use there. Only the ear sound. See, I've given so many examples here. Actually, I started with A in the examples. I don't know why it is not recognizing. In your systems also, if you don't have the phonetic symbols, you cannot show them on screen. That is a problem with the system. You have to insert all those phonetic symbols. IPA symbols should be there in your system, only then it will show up. This did show up the last time, but now I don't know why, because I think downloaded it again from my mail. So this is not recognizing the symbols. So I'm showing you this. Then, see, this is ear. This sound is ear. Here, here, near, spear, shear, beer. How do you pronounce this? B-E-E-R? B-E-E-R. How do you pronounce that? Beer. D-E-E-R.
Beer, ma'am.
Most of the people pronounce B-E-R, beer, and D-E-R, deer. But it's actually beer, deer. Right? B-E-R is pronounced beer, cheer, deer. D-E-E-R is deer, smear, queer, tear. T-I-E-R is pronounced tear, not tire. What is tier? Tier is actually a layer. Now you have 3-tiered cakes or 5-tiered cakes, you know, one top on top of the other. Cakes that are placed one on top of the other in layers, right? That is a tier. If you have traveled by trains, you travel by 3-tier, 2-tier, AC, or general compartment. Right? 3-tier means 3 layers. You have 3 berths, one in the middle and then the upper berth. That is 3-tier. But here, if you go and say tier, they might not understand. You have to say 3-tier. Right? T-I-E-R is actually tier, not tire. Shear, shear, peer, sphere, sneer, clear, steer. You have to add more to this list. Okay, find out more. Then let's start from here. This is A. A. A and E. A. As in 8. A-T-E is pronounced 8. We generally pronounce it 8. 8. But it is A. 8. E-I-G-H-T is also 8. G-A-T. How do you pronounce G-A-T?
Gate. Gate. Gate.
We generally pronounce it gay. We make it a long vowel, gate, but it's actually gate. G-A-I-T is also gate. G-A-T-E is also gate. Then L-A-T-E, late. Give me more words.
Fate. F-A-T.
Fate. Hey, you pronounce it A. Fate.
Wait, ma'am.
Wait.
Wait.
Yeah. Wait. Then
Straight.
straight. Yes. Straight. Wait. Waste. W-A-I-S-T. Waste. W-A-S-T-E is also waste. Don't
Rain.
waste. Don't waste food.
Ma'am, rain.
Rain. Yes. Rain. There are 3 rains. R-A-I-N, R-E-I-N, R-E-I-G-N. R-E-I-G-N is also rain, pronounced rain. R-E-I-N is rain. R-A-I-N is also rain. These are homonyms.
Vain, ma'am.
Huh?
Vain.
V-A-I-N. Yes,
Yes,
vain.
ma'am.
Yes, vain, correct.
Train.
Train, yeah. Train, sprain.
Renaissance.
No. No.
Train.
Claim,
Train.
C-L-A-I-N. Claim.
Foreign.
No. Where is A in that?
Pain.
Claim, you can say. Claim. Main.
Ma'am,
M-A-I-N.
brain.
Brain, yes. Brain.
B-R. Yes, brain.
Yeah, correct.
Pain.
Very good. Huh?
Pain.
Pain,
P-A-I-N.
yes. Yes, good. Pain, you can have.
Pain.
Tail. Tail. T-A-I-L. Tail. And that.
V-E-I-N. Vain.
V-E-I-N. Yes, yes, yes. Vein, yes. V-A-I-N. V-E-I-N. Both. Vein. Veil. V-E-I-L. V-E-I-L. Veil. That's a covering for the face. That's a veil. V-E-I-L. Veil.
Male, ma'am.
Yeah, male, male, male. So you can write down all these examples, write the sound and write the examples there so that when you practice, you don't get confused.
Fail.
Okay, ma'am.
Now, the
Fail.
next one is air. No, actually, okay, fine. Air. A and air. A-I-R is pronounced air. It's not air. It's air. Chair. C-H-A-I-R. Chair. What more? Prayer. Mayor. Prayer. Mayor. Player. P-L-A-Y-R.
Fire. Fire.
No, this is A and A. A and A. If you have written down the
Yeah.
words that I gave you, then you can compare with any other word that you might come up with. Right? Air, chair, player, prayer.
Air, ma'am.
Ah, that's what I said, air. That's pronounced air, not air. Air. Any other?
Layer.
Yeah, layer. Yeah, mayor. I gave you mayor. Layer, mayor, player. Stair. That check that, but stair. S-T-A-R-E. Stair. S-T-A-I-R. Stair. Check the pronunciation. Okay. Then this is I. R and E. I. As in sky, high, my, mine, might, fight, flight, kite. Now you give me more. I've given you quite enough. You give me more.
Ma'am,
examples.
like.
Yeah, like. Good.
Like. Lime.
Lime.
Lime. Crime.
Yeah. Yes.
Time.
Yes, good.
Fine.
Fine. Yes, very good.
Prime.
Huh? Sorry.
Prime.
Crime. Yeah, good. Crime.
Prime.
Prime. Crime. Yeah.
Life.
Yes, very good. Life.
Strive.
Strive. Yeah.
Mine.
Yeah, mine. I gave you that.
Shine.
Drive.
Shine.
Drive.
Yes. Yes. Drive. Shine. You can write more words there. This is ow.
Wine.
And o. Wine. Yes, wine also. Very good. This is ow. And o. Ow. As in cow, how, now, house. House.
Shout.
Shout. Yes. Shout. House. Mouse.
Mound.
Mound. Yeah. Mound.
Found.
Found. Yeah.
Crown.
Crown. Yes. Very good.
Sound. Sound.
Sound. Yeah. Prowl also. P-R-O-W-L. Prowl. Animals
Ma'am,
prowl.
down.
Sorry. Spell it.
Down. D-O-W-N.
Yes. Down. Yeah. Sometimes you
Foul.
know down. 1 second. Ma. Down. Generally down. It's also pronounced like out. Down. Down. Out. Down. Down. We Indians probably pronounce it down, but generally I think native speakers use this sound. Down. Come down. Down. Out. Anyways. Found, mound, found.
Foul. Bowl.
Owl, yes. Owl, bowl,
Foul,
yes.
ma'am.
Right. That's very good. Huh? Sorry?
Foul, ma'am.
Yeah, bowl you can write.
Mouse.
Yeah, I gave you mouse. House, mouse.
Foul.
Fowl, yes.
Stove.
No.
Noise.
No.
Bowl.
Bowl is already over.
Owl.
Owl also over. I gave that word. Owl. Scowl. S-C-O-W-L. Scowl. Scout.
Sound. Ma'am, sound.
Sound, yes. Sound already somebody gave.
Noun.
Out.
Noun. N-O-U-N. Noun.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody said, some other person said, a boy.
Out.
That's what. Out is out. I think it is out. It's out. Or out. We use the sound out, but native speakers, I've heard them say out. Out.
Fout, ma'am.
What is that? Spell that.
F-O-U-G-H-T.
That is the. How do you pronounce that? Fout. It is fought. That is not a diphthong. That's a monophthong. Unsound. Fought. What? Fought. Awesome. Just this sound. Okay. Let's move on to oi. This is oi. That's
Toy.
Toy. Boy. Noise.
Boy.
Voice. Voice. Noise. Voice. Spoil. Oil. Spoil. Toil. Now you give me some.
Coil.
Yeah.
Soil.
Soil. What more? It's going to be too short, I think, after rush.
It's quiet.
Sorry?
Quiet.
No.
Quiet.
No, man, the sound is oi. Where is oi in quiet?
No.
Is it quiet? No.
Ma'am, oil.
Yeah, oil, I told you. Oil, coil, spoil.
Boil.
Spell that.
B-O-I-L.
Yeah, correct. Okay, next. Let's move on to Ua. Ua. How do you pronounce T-O-U-R? T-O-U-R. T-O-U-R. How do you pronounce it?
Tool.
That's pronounced tour. It's pronounced tour. P-O-O-R.
Poor.
Poor. It's pronounced poor. R is silent. Okay, it's just poor. Tour. Sure. It's your R. Sure. Any other? What other sound word can you think of for this?
Pure.
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 Again, I told you, R. Don't pronounce the R.
Oh.
Pure. Truer. T-R-U-E-R. Truer. Okay, the last diphthong, L. This is L. O. Can you see the lip movement? L. O. L. Okay. Now, wherever you have O in the word and you pronounce it as O, it should be pronounced L. Okay. For example, girl. C-O-L-A. Pronounce that. C-O-L-A. C-O-L-A. Cola. C-O-K-E. Coke. It's pronounced Coke. We pronounce it Coke, but actual pronunciation is Coke. Cola. Boat. B-O-A-T. Boat. Note. N-O-T-E. Note. Coat. C-O-A-T. Coat. Okay. Can you give me some more examples there? No? We'll move on then, shall we? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
These are all examples for Ua. Ua. This is L. Cola, coke, boat, coat, rope, wrote, throat, boat, note, goal, float, etc. Now consonants. This is a huge thing. I don't know whether I'll be able to conclude it. I have to cut short tomorrow also. Let's see. Now, what are consonant sounds? Now, vowels we have looked at 20 vowel sounds, 8 pure vowels, 12 pure vowels, and 8 diphthongs. Total 20 vowel sounds are done. Okay. Now, consonants. What are consonants? Sounds that are not vowels are called consonants. Okay. And the difference is in the production of the sounds. Okay. So, in the production of the consonant sounds, the air does not flow freely like in the production of vowel sounds. In the vowel sounds, what happens? Air is released in a continuous stream. There is no obstruction, there is no narrowing, there is no friction. But in consonant sounds, there is some disturbance somewhere or the other inside the mouth. Okay. So what happens then? Because of the disturbance, there is audible friction. Okay, there is friction. So based on where they are produced inside the mouth and how they are produced, they are classified into the place of articulation and the manner of articulation. There are two classifications based on place of articulation, that is where they are produced, and the manner of articulation, that is how the sounds are produced. So based on the place of articulation, there are quite a few categories. And based on the manner of articulation also, there are different categories of consonants. Now, first we'll look at the manner of articulation, place of articulation. So, if you go by the place of articulation, that is where they are produced inside the mouth. The first is bilabial. Okay, these are the various categories we divide consonants into based on the place of articulation. Okay, bilabial. A bilabial is using both lips. So, which sounds do we produce using both lips? I'm so sorry that the sounds are not visible here. Okay. So using both lips, what are all the sounds that we produce using both lips? Bilabial. See, when we say both the lips come together, bilabial means both lips, right? So when we use both lips and produce the sound, it is called a bilabial. Now, pa is one, b is one, is one, and then w is one. W is pronounced w. W, we bring the lips together. Can you see my lips when I pronounce these sounds clearly? W, The sound is actually m. When you say m, we are adding a vowel sound to it. W. Both lips are used. Okay. Then labiodental. Second one is labiodental. Labio means lip. Dental is related to the teeth. Okay. So using the lower lip against the upper teeth. Okay. Then you have the sound is the upper teeth come and touch the lower lip, and you release the air. What happens? You have narrowed the passage, so there is audible friction. The sound is f. But when I say f, I'm adding a vowel sound to it. The actual sound is that's it. And the next one is v. F and v. When I say F also, I'm adding a vowel sound. When I say V, I'm adding a vowel sound after. The sound is. Now here, when you say F, now put your finger on your throat. All of you, put your finger on your throat and say F. Do that. And tell me if your vocal cords vibrate. All of you try that. Fast, quick.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am, it is not.
Yeah, they don't vibrate. Okay. Good. Then say that. You feel the vibration? Can you feel the vibration?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So, what is the difference now? F is voiceless sound, V is voiced sound. It's very important to differentiate, okay, between voiced and voiceless. All vowel sounds are voiced. All 20 vowel sounds are voiced because the vocal cords vibrate for those. Only a few consonants, for a few consonant sounds, the vocal cords do not vibrate. Okay, one of those is, and same way in bilabial also you have to unvoiced sounds. We'll come to that later. Voiced and voiceless. There's a table there. If you see the table, you'll understand. You'll have to practice. Put your finger on your throat and when you pronounce, try and see whether they vibrate or not. Okay. Then dental. Dental related to the teeth. So tip of the tongue and back of the upper teeth. Tip of the tongue, back of the upper teeth. Here. Okay. The examples are theta. It's in the shape of theta. So I'm very sorry. I don't know why it's the. Okay, when you say also, air is released along with that. These two are dental. What happens here? The tip of the tongue goes up, touches the upper teeth. Okay, then alveolar. If you remember, I told you alveolar is related to the teeth ridge. So articulated by tip or blade of the tongue against the teeth ridge. Okay, so you have t, d. The sound is s, z, then n, l. These are all alveolar sounds. Okay, t, d, s, z, n, l. 6 sounds. They're alveolar. Then palato-alveolar. Palato-alveolar, what happens? The main body of the tongue is raised up, and that is the teeth bridge with the blade of the tongue. Okay, the main body of the tongue is raised, yeah, and then the tongue touches the teeth ridge. The blade of the tongue touches the teeth ridge. This is palato-alveolar. So here you have ch. The sound is ch, j, sh, j. Okay, ch, j, sh, and j. These are the 4 palato-alveolar. Then you have palatal, that is articulated by the front of the tongue against the hard palate. The front of the tongue goes and touches the hard palate, which is in the center of the roof of the mouth. Okay. So palatal, you have only one sound, that is y. Y sound. Y. Then velar. Velar is articulated by the back of the tongue against the soft palate. Back of the tongue against the soft palate. Okay. So you have k, k. When you say k, k, can you feel the back of the tongue touching the soft palate? You try it. So k, k, and ng. This is a nasal sound ng. If there is anybody who speaks Tamil, they will know. They have this sound ng. But in any other language, Indian language, we don't have this sound ng. In Tamil, it is ng. That's a nasal sound. So these are the 3 velar sounds. K, g, ng. Okay. Then glottal. Remember, I told you there's a gap between the vocal cords, right? And that gap is called the glottis. So this is articulated in the glottis. This sound. This is H. Air is released through the gap in the glottis. Okay. So these are the classifications based on place of articulation. Now, manner of articulation. Manner of articulation. So based on the manner of articulation, how they are produced, they are divided into different categories. First one is plosives or stops. In a plosive, what happens is the air is stopped somewhere inside the mouth, at the lips or inside the mouth. The airflow is stopped and it is released suddenly, so that there is a puff of air that is released with it, with the sound. The puff of air is released, like an explosion. Now, explosion does not mean a bomb blast or a blast. It's just a puff of air that comes out. Okay, so that is why it is called a plosive or stops. You stop the air and release it with a puff of air. So the plosives are h, h, t, d, h, g. 6 plosives. Okay. H, b, t, d, h, g. Those are the plosives. Then the next one is affricates. In affricates, what happens? Again, the air is stopped somewhere, but it is released smoothly, not without a puff. It is released slowly. For example, in our languages, we have k, k, g, k, right? The second g, k is released with a puff of air. That's what happens in a plosive. Then affricate, they're slowly released. The air is slowly released. Ch, ch. There is no ch here or ch here in English. Okay? Ch, ch. So those are the affricate sounds. And then fricatives. In fricatives, what happens is the air passage is narrowed. For example, have you experienced storms, cyclonic storms anywhere? Anybody? When there are heavy winds blowing, followed by rain. These winds, you're sitting inside your house with all the doors and windows closed, tight. But you can hear the wind howling, can't you? Yes, no? Have you heard? Have you experienced that? The wind howling, it makes so much noise, it is scary, right? What happens there? How does the wind make any noise? Any idea? Now, even with the doors and the windows closed, there are narrow cracks, right? In the doors and windows, the passage is very narrow. Now, air can pass through that also, but it cannot move freely through that narrow passage. So it forces its way in or out of that passage. So when it forces its way in, there is friction, and that friction becomes noise. Like when you whistle, how many of you know how to whistle? Can you all whistle? I cannot. Can you whistle? What happens when you whistle? You don't do anything. You just narrow the passage and release the air. And the air makes the sound. But you use your organs of speech in different ways to produce different tones, different melodies using, by whistling. When somebody plays the flute, what happens? The flute, the air is blown into it, and there are holes in the flute, and some of the holes are closed and then opened, and there is friction when air passes through the tube. That is the flute, and that's how the noise comes up. You're just blowing the air in it. So what happens here in your mouth also for fricative is the air passage is narrowed at some place in the mouth, and the air while escaping causes audible friction. It makes a sound. You don't do anything. You just narrow the air passage. Okay. Now those sounds are, I'd already told you. Then and says, am I making any sound over there? I'm releasing the air. What happened then? Then buzz. The bee goes buzz, right? That is the sound. Then shh. Shh, 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 shh. That's the sound. I'm releasing, narrowing the passage, releasing the air. Shh, and then shh, then just. You're not doing anything except narrowing the passage. And then comes nasal. The nasal, what happens? Air is released through the nose. There are three sounds, nasal sounds. Then lateral. In lateral, what happens? Partial closure of the mouth, and air escapes through the sides of the tongue. When you put the tongue goes up and say, you can feel the air passing through the sides of the tongue. Then semi-vowel. Semi-vowel is produced like a vowel. How is a vowel produced? A vowel sound produced, I told you, right? Air escapes freely, continuously. There is no friction. So here also what happens, which is produced like a vowel, but it is considered only a consonant. It functions only as a consonant sound. That's why it's called a semi-vowel. Okay? The semi-vowels are w, and y. W and y. Then, last one, frictionless continuant. This is produced like a fricative, but without the audible friction. So this sound is r. Sound is r. So these are the consonant sounds, 24 consonant sounds. So there is a table. Let me see. Even if I send it to you people, if you don't have the sounds installed in your system, you won't be able to see them. So what I'll do is probably I'll take a picture and send it. Or if you have books in your library, you can refer. You will understand whatever I give information I've given you. You'll be able to relate and understand. Okay. Any questions?
Screenshots can be shared now.
No, screenshots okay, but the sounds will not be seen in your system. No? I'm not able to see them in my system. They were there the last time I used, but now I downloaded them once again. So these sounds are not visible here. I will see how I can restore them. If I can restore them, I will send. Screenshots can be sent. These are the examples for all the sounds. Okay, p, b, d, d, k, g, ch, j. But you need to know that you should be able to identify the sounds actually. Only then you will know. Section 4. I think I'll do this tomorrow. The information overload. What do you say, girls? You have any doubts? You have any questions? You can ask. Otherwise, I'll start with syllable and I'll end it with syllable. Gayatri?
Yes, ma'am. I think
Right.
you have a little more time, ma'am. You can continue with the syllables.
That's right. Okay, fine. I will continue with syllable. Because examples I wanted to make them do, but then the symbols they're not able to see.
Yes.
Doesn't matter. Okay, syllable. I'll continue with syllable. Okay, girls. So are you familiar with the consonant sounds and the vowel sounds now? 44 sounds. Their individual sounds are called phonemes, or also called phonemes. Okay. Now, what is a syllable? A syllable is a combination of sounds, two or more sounds. It can be just one sound also. Two or more sounds with one vowel sound. Now, the vowel sound is the nucleus of the syllable. Without the vowel sound, you cannot have a syllable. Understand? What is a syllable? It's a group of sounds with one vowel sound. You can have many consonant sounds, but you can have only one syllable or one vowel sound in one syllable. Understand? Just a vowel sound also can be a syllable. But you cannot have a syllable without a vowel sound. Sounds are combined to form syllables, and syllables are combined to form words, and words are put together to form sentences. So you can have one sound or more than one, but it will have one vowel sound, which is its nucleus. Now, based on this, we can have a structure of a syllable. This is the structure of a syllable. Tentatively. Okay, CN plus V plus CN. C is consonant, N is the number of consonants, put in brackets because it may vary. The number of consonants before the vowel or after the vowel sounds can vary. But vowel is a constant. Vowel is a constant, this is a consonant, this is a consonant, and number of consonants. Number of consonants can vary. That is why it is put between brackets. Now, based on this, I have given you various possible combinations of a syllable. Okay? Just V. Combination V. V is vowel. So vowel, only vowel you have I, O, I, even though there are three letters here, the sound is only one sound. Then A. That is a letter. That's the word also. It's an article. Okay. Then V, C. Vowel, consonant. Now you can add some more to this. You can add some more examples to this. V, C. At, egg, in. See, in, vowel, consonant. Vowel, consonant. As, and, is, it, on. Now you add some more to this. Can you add some more words? Did everyone go to sleep? Nobody is responding. Yes, girls?
So,
This is B and C. V and C. Vowel first, consonant next. Look at this. Yes? What happened? You're not able to come up with anything? Vowel and consonant. Vowel and consonant. Are there any more?
On, or,
Yeah.
or,
Yes, OR. And then yeah. Then VCC. Vowel, consonant, consonant. And, app, and, ants. Ox will come here. Now, actually, when we write, when we transcribe, ox or s will be written. So that is why it is put here. Ask, owl. Now, for this combination, there's only one word. V, C, C, C. Vowel and 3 consonants after it. Angst, A-N-G-S-T, angst. Then V and 4 consonants, angles. Though this E is there, it is not pronounced, but it's why angles. I have to check this. Then consonant and vowel. Somebody said so. So is put here. Consonant and vowel. Can you add some more to this? C and B. Can you? Sorry? I couldn't hear that. Somebody was speaking. Me, by, shy, do, we. Consonant and vowel. Consonant and vowel. She, be, so, he, the. And let's continue. C, C, B. That is consonant, consonant, vowel. Style, spy, cry. Even though this is Y here, the sound is I. Okay, this is K, R, I. Then who, cry, do, fly, fry, sky, stew, crow, flow. Then CBC is the easiest combination. CBC. Somebody's mic is on. There's some disturbance.
Can I request the participants to please mute your mics? Kindly mute your mics. Thank you.
Then CBC, cat, bed, knit, nut, dog, consonant, vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel, consonant. Can you add more to this? This is the easiest. You can give me more words for this. Can you? Anybody? If you don't participate, I lose interest. You should participate actively, especially in this phonetics class. Various combinations of the syllables. So what's a syllable? What's a syllable? Can somebody tell me? What's a syllable?
It's a combination of sounds, ma'am.
Yes, combination of sounds and
it could even form words where
no. Syllable. What is a syllable? It's a combination of sounds. The most important part is,
Ma'am, it is a pronunciation where one vowel adds to the another consonant.
See, a syllable is a group of sounds.
It is a unit of
Group of sounds with one vowel sound, which is the nucleus of a syllable. A syllable can have, I'm giving you, these are all syllables, various combinations of syllables. But the common thing, the constant thing in all these things is the V. There's only one V. You can see how many consonants are there. But there's only one V. So what's a syllable? It's a group of sounds with one vowel sound. It can have the number of consonant sounds varies, but vowel sound is constant. There should be only one vowel sound. Okay, now this CVC, there are so many words in CVC, in CVC combination. Cat, bed, knit, nut, dog. The next CVCC, 2 consonants after V and 1 before it. Fast, pest, just. Now I want you all to add more. Can you give me more examples? Can you think of more?
Hunt.
For this one, yes. Correct, very good. And
Cart.
no.
Cold.
Cold, yeah. Bold, cold, bold.
Cold.
Yeah, you can. You can write that.
Fist.
Sorry?
Fist.
Spell it.
F-I-S-T.
Yeah, fist, you can write. Just fist. Missed.
Ball.
No. No.
Back.
Trust.
In trust, you have 2 C's before the vowel sound.
Can we say back, ma'am?
C-A-C-K?
Yes, ma'am.
No. Because C-K, if you write also, the sound is only one sound.
Oh, okay.
So I'm asking you to give me examples so that there can be some clarity.
Must. M-U-S-T.
Yes, yes, good. You can write must. Most also. Most, must.
Best.
Test, best, best. Rhyming words. And look at this. 3 C's and V. 3 C's and V. Strain, screw, screen, scroll, stroll. Who else are there? But sound is only one. And here CV, CCC, you have text, pests. Sorry? Right? I told you X, here the letter is only one, but when we write sounds, it will be K, S, and T. So that is why 3 C's. Then here 4 C's after the vowel and 1 before it. Texts. Then CCVC, fleck, shred, flat. 2 C's before V. Plot, blog, plan, flip, flip, spice, grip, clip, etc. Then 3 C's, V and 1 C. Strap, script, string, script and convert. Strip, scrap, and CC, VCC. Script. The boy gave me a word earlier that you can put here. 2 C's before the V. What was the word that you gave her?
Back.
Sorry?
Back. B-A-C-K.
No, not that one. B-A-C-K will be CVC. We'll put it under CVC. This is 2 C's before and 2 C's after. Crept, scam, drift, draft, craft, cleft, clamp, plant, brand, swift, run, drunk. Can you add more to this? Then here, 2 C's, V B and 4 C's after the B. You cannot have more than this. And before the vowel, you can have only maximum 3 consonants. After the vowel, you can have 4 consonants. Okay? So stands, stumps, friends, prince, etc. Then here 2 C's, B and 4 C's, prompts. You don't have many words for this combination. And then 3 C's, B and 2 C's. Express, strength. Though there are many letters here, if you go by the sounds, you have only 2 C's, 2 consonant sounds. Script, streets, strand. And then 3 C's before and 3 C's after. Splints, scripts. Okay. Then word stress, I'll do tomorrow. Word stress, sentence stress, and guidelines I do tomorrow. Okay? Gayatri, I should stop here.
Yes, ma'am.
If there are any questions, they're welcome.
Girls, you can ask if you have any doubts.
Anything you need clarified, any other questions that you want answered also you can give, and I can get back with the answers tomorrow.
No doubts, it's ma'am. It was very much clear.
Okay.
Now,
any other questions they would want answered for tomorrow? I mean, they should have read something about these things to ask questions.
it's very much clear, it's ma'am.
Okay, then shall we call it a day?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Anjali ma'am, shall we request Namrata to give the vote of thanks?
Anjali ma'am.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rama. It was really very interactive, and I'm sure the students following you would have picked it up big time. They would have really enjoyed this session because it is a very important session and you've taken it up very peacefully. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Rama, and we're looking forward to tomorrow's session. Over to Namrata. Can I ask Namrata to share a few words, please?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Rama, for enlightening us with your expertise. I also thank you for all the information you have shared with our participants, and I'm sure it is going to be of a great use to them. And thank you so much, ma'am. We will be meeting again tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. sharp. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you all, and then I hope it's been useful to the students, and I would like their feedback, and I might ask questions tomorrow about these things, so then I will know whether they have listened to them or not.
Definitely, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, see you all tomorrow.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. See you tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome, ma'am. Welcome.